I was in a really bad car accident, a rollover on our ranch in Marfa. That was 2004. Recovered, luckily, got better. But just because like your body and the stitches, that is one part of healing. But the other part of healing is really healing your identity, healing who you were, and now here's who you are. And it may not be as great and as strong and as put together as you thought you were. And so luck would have it, I kind of would call it luck, got me in Austin. But then I truly believe that it was really the magic of Austin that pulled me into the dance scene and the dance community. And that helped me physically heal, that helped me spiritually heal. I found a community that accepted me for all of my faults, which there's just so few, but it's wonderful. And it's one of the main reasons that I stay, that we all stay. All the dancers stay as long as we can. Right.
Yeah, that's so noticeable about the community here. And I think I felt that from that first moment with you.
Austin Community Capital. This show is a celebration of the spirit of Austin, Texas, honoring our past, engaging our present, and building our future together.
Although it's not the last time.
Beth, I'm really excited to have you on the show this morning. I want to share with folks how I met you, which is such a fun story and such a representation of who you are in Austin. So I had recently landed to Austin. I was kind of finding my footing socially and in community. I was at Soho House and there was a 2-step dance lesson. And I'm like, I'm just going to check that out. You know, I'm new to Texas. This is part of the thing here.
Yep.
And I was in just like a total shy wallflower mode. I was kind of like, I'm going to watch and like, you know, we'll see how I feel. And I'm just hanging by the side, feeling really like self-conscious. And you come by and you're like, hey, let's dance. And I'm like, I don't know. You just grab me. And just the spirit that you had was so inviting and
so unnatural, isn't it? It's so unnatural.
You got me out of my head though.
Yeah.
But I think you have such a beautiful life story of redemption through dance. And I'm really excited to unfold that today.
Sure.
Thank you for being here.
Well, thanks. And I love that you remember, the story of you getting to be, oh, I'm sure if I stand in the corner, no one will see me. I'm sure she will pick up the vibe that I'm going to be solo and hang out back here. And how I was like zoned in, targeted. You are exactly the person that I would love to bring out and learn how to dance. So I love that you shared, you shared your vulnerability, because I think there are a lot of people that are really nervous about coming to dance and being in their body and being in a new place. And it seems like everybody's wearing a hat and boots. So like everybody knows what they're doing. And prime example, you had no clue what you were doing. You had no idea what was going to happen. And then boom, you're in it. So thank you for sharing that, because I think it's fun. I do it on a nightly, daily basis, as grabbing folks, seeing through their veil of disguise and be like, no, you have to come do this with me. You have to do this. So, you touched a little bit on like my story of redemption, if you will, or maybe healing might be a good word to use. I was in a really bad car accident, a rollover on our ranch in Marfa. That was 2004. Recovered, luckily, got better. But just because like your body and the stitches, that is one part of healing. But the other part of healing is really healing your identity, healing who you were, and now here's who you are. And it may not be as great and as strong and as put together as you thought you were. And so luck would have it, I kind of would call it luck, got me in Austin. But then I truly believe that it was really the magic of Austin that pulled me into the dance scene and the dance community. And that helped me physically heal. That helped me spiritually heal. I found a community that accepted me for all of my faults, which there's just so few, but it's wonderful. And it's one of the main reasons that I stay, that we all stay, all the dancers stay. As long as we can. Right.
Yeah, that's so noticeable about the community here. And I think I felt that from that first moment with you. Take us back a little bit of that, story of healing. And what was that first dance experience? How did you get pulled into this?
So great question. The origin story of dancing. So of course, I'm a Texas girl. We have a ranch in Marfa. Been dancing my whole life, like literally learned on granddad's steps on his feet, learned with dad, learned with brother, all my aunts, uncles, cousins. But the other really cool part of that story with being here in Austin, I went to a place, old joint, neon rainbow kind of place with lots of neon lights. I think it was like 69-cent drinks, so very bougie, very foo-foo. It was called Dallas Nightclub. Of course, like many places, it's gone. But my friends, luckily, were like, hey, it's time. You're cool to go out. Get dressed up as best you can. I had my head shaved, so I had like an inch of hair. So I'd wrapped my head.
And that was like kind of medical thing or?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So with staples, the staples had just been, they weren't out, all of them out just yet. So I had some staples in my head and had a scarf that I looked cool or as best I could. So I had that kind of covering up the staples, and I was wearing a neck brace at the time. So really intimidating for my friends to be like, okay, you're getting in our car. This is terrifying. I'm like, well, I'm okay. This is just part of the healing process. But they made me leave the neck brace in the car. So I get out. I'm not wearing cowboy boots or a cowboy hat. And I go into this joint. We're all sitting down. We're enjoying our very expensive 69-cent drinks. And luckily, a guy came over to the table and welcomed all of us to town and said hey, does anybody here know how to waltz? And I was like, well, I know how to waltz. And nobody else at the table did, which was really strange. I know, right? So we got up on the dance floor and we waltzed, and it was great. I don't know if you waltzed, you should, but it's
cotillion days.
There you go. So yeah. So we waltzed and had a great time and sat down. My friends were like, oh my God, that was so fun. And then lovely, this gentleman danced with all the people at the table. This is what you're supposed to do. And then it came back to my turn. And so we did a Texas two-step. He was like, man, you're great at this. How'd you learn this? And so we small talked, and he was like, well, listen, if you want to come dance tomorrow, we're going to be at the Broken Spoke. Show up. I'll be there. You'll at least know me. And that started it. That's it. So after the Broken Spoke, you go to the Continental Club. After the Continental Club, you go to Egos. After Egos, so every night was the next place, and I got to learn about the people. I got to learn about the bands. I got to learn about the venues. So that, along with my physical therapy that I was doing, that was just so much fun. So much fun and intimidating. Let's be very clear. It was very intimidating at the beginning. And that didn't take long. It didn't take long for that to wear off. And then it was just something that I did. And the rest is history, right? That was 20 years ago plus. Yeah.
I love that. You received an invitation and you said yes. And
yes.
Dove into the dance community. And you casually dropped a couple names of venues in Austin that are just so iconic.
Yeah.
Maybe help folks outside of Austin that haven't heard of these spots.
Sure.
Give us a picture, a two-step lore of Austin. What are the classic places?
Well, the way that it once was, things change and things stay the same. So the beautiful part about Austin is that it is ever evolving. And as much as we love it the way that it is, it's going to change. And so at the time, the Broken Spoke had a really big night, Thursday night. It was Jesse Dayton. It was Chaparral. Fantastic. And I mean, everybody that looked good, that danced well, that wanted to be seen, Thursday night was it. So that's a great place. Broken Spoke, man, it's the oldest one. It's being held together by, glue and duct tape, but it's there. It looks great. It's still happening. That dance floor has seen everybody, right? So anyway, it's the Broken Spoke. So that's one joint. Continental Club, the owner of that is Steve Wertheimer, and he's been just super eclectic, collecting dudes that are into cool cars, collecting rock and roll, rockabilly. That's a word that we don't really throw around anymore, but there's a rockabilly scene, a two-step scene, hay bale with these guys that played with Elvis, right? They're on stage. Yeah, cool, right? So that was a great place. So Sunday night, that was church, babe. You would show up, dance your dance, finish up, take your shower, go to bed, and start Monday morning, start it all over again. But the Broken Spoke Continental, and there was a place called Egos, and it was cool and dark and weird, real small. So everybody got to have this like intimate connection with bands because there wasn't really a stage. So they were really like me to you. So wonderful stories about people being too intoxicated or being too excited and they fall into the band and the band keeps playing. So those were just some that were just like super memorable to me. And being a dancer, dancing that hard, you get sweaty. It's Texas. And so that was kind of the fun part is we would have our booze, not that we would, ever think that we would drink in parking lots. But anyway, so we would totally drink in the parking lot. So we'd have a car bar. And when the band would take a break, we'd all go out there, maybe change shirts discreetly, change your shirt into something a little less sweaty, partake perhaps of the car bar, but have a chance to talk to everybody and talk about, man, this band is so great. Where else are we going to go tonight? Or where are we going to go tomorrow? And then back to the dance floor. So just hours of this every night, that endorphin rush, that just true euphoric experience. Nobody's telling jokes. Nobody knows what your major is. Nobody really cares. You just get to dance and hear some great songs, hear great live local musicians making music. So yeah, I mean, what's not to like about that?
This show is supported by Loyal Home Concierge. You can take a company public, but you just found a scorpion in the guest room. Welcome to Austin. We'll handle it. LoyalHomeConcierge.com.
It's so communal, and you describe, these rich dance communities in Austin. Has dance taken you outside Austin, and have you found community elsewhere?
Absolutely. So great question about the dance culture that's like outside of Austin. So the good news is that throughout Texas, you'll find some groovy old Sisterdale, Twindalia, Kendalia, these like really cool old green dance hall and Lukenbach, neat dance hall culture that's like really old stuff. That's so fun. However, you got to think back, who built it? Why? So you've got all these like beautiful German and Polish and Czech community, which is what I'm a part of. They built all these dance halls so that they could dance together. So they'd have like a meeting space for their family and for the people that they're bringing into town, bringing into Texas. And then you leave Texas. Wah, wah, there's nothing. Man, it's so hard to find like Texas two-step and dance community once you leave. It's there, but you got to be pretty tricky about finding it. There's a lot of like East Coast swing and West Coast swing. So there's some swing dancing that's not at all the Texas two-step, but you'll find it. But my job, what I really have been inspired to do is let's take it with me. Let me put all my dance in my pocket and let's go. I can jump on a plane. Let's just go. I'm the ambassador, right? So as the ambassador of the Texas two-step, I've gone all over Germany, France, Amsterdam was this summer, New York, all those places, like they're into it. They're getting hip. They feel like, man, this is great. We want you to come, show our people, show them how to dance, show them that dance is fun. You can dance every dance. And then, the bands come through. They travel through too. So it's super fun. So we've got like a little tour of dancing and just bringing me in. That's fine. It can just be me, but it's so much fun whenever it's me and a band and we go share this little nugget of what Austin can do.
Yeah. How do you plug in with a groove or a venue in Amsterdam, or like who are you connecting with in these places, and particularly with two-step not being on the radar? Like,
right.
These
are secrets that cannot be divulged in this. I'm so sorry. You do not have the password. There is no secret. No, ultimately it's me. It's me. I'm a super connector. I always have been. I've always been able to make a friend and then use that friend for all of the things that I need from them. So like for you, we connected that night and here we are. This is your dream and your goal of having this. So this is what I do is I make sure that my heart and my spirit are open to all of those cool ideas. And because of that, I think there's a really genuine connection with other folks. So there's a lot of people that come to my dance lesson here in town and then take it with them and then follow me on Instagram and say like, hey, Beth, any chance you'd come to Amsterdam? And I'm like, I've already got the trip booked. Let me just join you. I'm already there. Let's do this. So I've pinpointed spots that I want to go. I do a little bit of research and I reach out to them, say, this would be cool. Let's do it. And they're like, oh, Beth, oh my God, we have no new ideas. It's you. You've brought us this new wonderful idea. But now that I've said that, nobody gets to follow that. No, I'm teasing. It's really just me figuring it out and figuring out how to travel small, hats involved, boots involved, and then being there, being able to work with host families, work with host venues to try to figure out what it is that they really want and what they're really looking for. So being able to negotiate those things, that's all kind of like part of the book that's me. Yeah. How about that?
Well, you're a gifted dance teacher. You're a person of initiative, going out there. You're a make it happen person, and you're a really good friend maker. What's your encouragement to people about how to meet new people, how to make friends? What would you say?
Ah, gosh. Well, I feel like you should pay me to help you make friends, but the right
Ben, help me, Beth. Help me.
You know, right? What's the trick to making friends? The trick to making friends is just get out of your house. It's beautiful. It's wonderful. It's cozy. You're in your PJs. It's a hard sell. But if you get up and get out, and that's why, like for my dance lesson, it's free. I don't want you to think that you can't come dance because it's cost prohibitive. Even if it's a small cost, I want it to be free. So whenever you come to the White Horse, it's free to get in. The dance lesson is free. Now I ask for donations, of course, but making a friend there is kind of why I make everybody join one big circle at the beginning. Because when you're all in the circle, you can look around and realize every single one of you is a rock star and every single one of you is a total nerd and a yahoo, and no one belongs there, and this is nobody's place. It's all of us. All of us are weirdos. It's like the Willie Nelson song, right? I may not be normal, but nobody is. Nobody is. So you're in this circle and I make you walk together. And that point right then and there, boom, the playing field is leveled. No one is cool. I don't care how much money you have. If you can't walk in a circle, you've got this. So everybody walks in the circle. And then lo and behold, you know what happens? You end up meeting the person in front of you and the person behind you and the person next to you. And then that circle, it's so beautiful. There's probably some science, but this circle, I make it big. And then we slowly, but surely we do our left together, left, then right. And our circle gets smaller and smaller. And then we become this enormous, just amoeba going around in a circle every night. Every night, Austin, it does the same thing. That's something about us wanting to be in a group. And while you're in this circle, taking steps, being completely awkward and completely anxious, overthinking everything, looking at your feet, you don't have time to have up all the other guards. And so the person that knocks into you and you're like, oh gosh, sorry. Yeah, I don't know what I'm doing. Yeah, I don't know what I'm doing either. Hi, new friend. Yeah. You just can't help it. You just can't help it. So I'm making that happen. I'm manifesting friendships all over the dance floor by forcing people into a room, into a circle, just like you did in kindergarten. Your teachers always made y'all sit in circle. Circle time. Circle up. We've been circling up. Yeah.
I love that imagery. You've really illustrated the dance floor as kind of a model for community, for broader community. But how does it happen? What does the unfolding of community look like? Beth, you've done such an amazing job of really finding a calling in life and finding a place for your passion and charting a path for yourself. What would be your advice to others that are looking for their calling in life, trying to find what really lights them up?
Great question. Well, I love, we both went through college. We've had mentors. We've had all these people talk about find your passion, find it. Man, I don't know if you can think back to being 25, 26. My passion was just looking hot, great lipstick, and vodka and tequila. Like I was super into learning how to drink well, learning how to hang in cool bars, making cool friends. And it's strange, like, turns out that passion isn't really the best for you. Not for your brain, not for your body. I'm really good at it. Oh my God, I'm so good at tequila. But to tell somebody that's like thinking about what is their next chapter, what is that next adventure going to be? For me, it would just be to tell them, like, what are you good at? Let's just talk about that. What are you good at? Are you really good at Legos? Hey, man. My husband's amazing at Legos.
Freaking love
He's
Legos.
also, see? He's also really good at guitar. And so he figured out that if you could look at the math of Legos, you might be able to look at the math of guitar. So I'm not saying that because he played with Legos, he's really good at the guitar, but I am saying that stop thinking about the world so big. You are you're your friend. What do you do well? Are you a good reader? Maybe you really are able to, something I know that I'm really good at that I wouldn't have ever thought of was I'm able to look at really difficult choreography and really difficult dance moves. And even though I never studied like the body, right? That was not a part of like biology was not it. I never went through like, I'm an athlete, so I studied the body because I injured my body. So that's how I had to learn about knees and elbows. But I'm able to look at all of that and then learn it for myself. And then I'm able to make it really simplistic. What a cool gift is that? I work on it every day. And so throughout all of the different dance styles that I've learned, throughout all of the different ways that I've performed choreography, I've worked on music videos. I've worked in full-length movies. And I get handed these extras. Okay, teach them to dance. And
Make it happen.
oh, make it happen. Yeah, it's like, and start. So how am I going to look at these? I just did a commercial shoot. I had 15 lovely people, all of them from all different walks of life. However, we all needed to dance together to a particular song, and we have 20 minutes. Okay. So not only am I getting that direction from a director and from the guy that's operating the cameras and the lights and from the set designer that says, you can use this much space. Be sure you don't touch this. Oh my God, don't touch this. So I'm having to take in all of that information along with me knowing my choreography. And I've got great choreography. Can I teach that to 20 people in 20 minutes? Absolutely not. No, but I can teach them something small that looks great. And usually involves like a clap and maybe like a shimmy, or maybe whatever it is. So taught them all, made them feel good. Because again, you're teaching them how to dance is great, but making them feel like they can dance, that's the gift. So they can feel like they're doing it right and doing it well. They had a good time. They had a good time. They learned it. They felt like they could do it. And then they had a good time doing it. And so this is why directors call me constantly. They're like, dude, it's got to be Beth. It's got to be Beth. I worked with Sylvester Stallone. So he gives me a call. He's telling me, hey, I need you for the scene. I don't know if I know, like, yeah, it's Rocky. I'm talking to Rocky. Rocky needs me.
The guy.
That guy. Hey, that guy? Yeah, he's talking to me. Little kid from West Texas. Like, what? So he needs me, and Tulsa King is his show. Okay, cool, man. Hey, maybe in my mind, I'm like, cool, we're going to do a dance thing. We're going to be no, he needs me in the, gosh, what do you call it? Where girls dance on poles. I don't know the PG-13 way of saying that. And I was like, look, I know I may look like a lady that takes her clothes off on a pole. However, like he goes, you're it. I know it's you. I've already talked to all the people. It's you, Beth. You're the one. You're the one that's going to help the director and the guy behind the camera capture those moments, those really neat moments that happen between a dancer and a patron, or that happen between a dancer and a dancer, or a patron and a patron. So in essence, in this scene, I'm having to work with all these different actors, different personalities. There's a whole bunch of stuff that happens up to and including Rocky getting to hit a guy in the stomach. And I'm there working with all of this. Hi, I teach Texas two-step. However, here's this other thing that I can do. And it worked great. And we all got out of it. I've gotten to watch the scene. It looks great. But it's that herding cats, if you will, and understanding direction, processing direction, and then make it easy for different kinds of people to understand what they're going to do. And I do all of that, almost every night at the White Horse. I'm helping people take this dance that's been around forever and ever and ever, and I'm breaking it down to step by step to us walking in a circle. So I'm circling back to the circle, but the circle really, it really is it. Yeah.
Oh, the places you'll go with Texas two-step. So Beth, amidst that description, you hit on something that I would say is part of your je ne sais quoi.
You're in Aspen, or maybe Italy, and your phone pings with a freeze warning back in Austin. Panic? Nope. You have Loyal. We're already there, wrapping the pipes and checking the perimeter. Whether you're home or away, we are the eyes and ears of your estate. Global freedom, local support.
You are clued in to how you're making people feel. Mm-hmm. And that's something that you're really in tune with and in touch with. And that's a lot of what's behind how you work and the way you do it. And something else I felt when we two-stepped a little bit begrudgingly back at Soho House was like you came over and you were so comfortable in your own skin and so freed up that it was contagious for me, that you freed me up. So I want to hear your advice to people of like, how do we get out of our own skin? How do we bring our full, uninhibited self to something? Because you've really mastered that.
Man, it's a great question about like, how do you be authentic to yourself? Because that's the first step, is know who you are. And I know, gosh, everybody says that, but it's also like in your skin. What? We've all looked at our pictures. We all like see us. We see us in the mirror. We see us on our Instagram. Like we see it. And at some point, like just be okay. I got to go from this cute look to shaved head, broken neck, possibly getting to live the rest of my life in a wheelchair. If I get to live. And man, oh man, that wakes you up. Period. Like there were times I'm waiting for surgery and I'm having that moment of like, man, this is really one of those moments. It's either going to go great or it's not. And I'm out of all of it. I have no control over that. And so you pray, you try to find peace, you try to take deep breaths, and you're just overwhelmed with anxiety. There's nowhere to go. I couldn't run. I mean, literally the doctor was like, you can choose not to have this surgery to fix your neck. And one day you'll step off a curb, you'll take a little stumble, and it'll break. Or we can try to fix it right now. And I believe, and he, if anything, he looked at me and said, trust me, I've got this. And maybe that's where it comes from. I didn't want to trust him. I didn't want to do any of it. I wanted to run away. But at that very moment, I was like, you're right. I don't have a choice right here. So let's do this. And then whenever I woke up, things were good, minimal issues, and I'm up. And I got to walk. And I got to swim. And I gently ran. And I could dance. I'm bulletproof, right? Like at that point, a gift, a second chance. Okay. Slap in the face. Hey, it's time. It's time for you to figure it out. And so maybe because of that journey, that's helped me just really understand who I am. And so then whenever I reach out to dance with somebody, whenever I grab this group of people in a circle and I'm like, hey, we're all right here right now. This is it. This is happening. Maybe that just speaks. You know, maybe it's not really even the words that I'm saying. Maybe it's just me being there and being like, yep, here we go. Yeah, today's the day.
And what I'm hearing in that is just the power of perspective and the power of identity. And that our perspective and, you know, what we tell ourselves really shapes our identity. And then our identity kind of shapes how we go out and show up in the world. And you've been very intentional about what you tell yourself to inform that identity. And, you know, it's been resilience, courage, trust, you know, when you trusted that doctor and knowing when to say yes to like that dance imitation. I love that. So I always see you as a very high energy person. You know, you bring your full self. What do you do to recharge?
Sleep. No, no, it's a great question. Because you're right. There has to be a refractory period. You can't just like burn. You can't just be energy. I have a 6-year-old, and so I get to actually see literally energy in all of its forms. Perfectly brilliant. She is a combustible little ball of fire. But I also see when it's time for us both to chill. Chill to me, yes, sleeping, very important. Yes, I can't, yes, go to sleep. Right now, like, I find a lot of calming qualities in coloring. Yes. I mean, like, really, am I just like living my best kindergarten self? But I like to color. My daughter is a really good, she's a really great artist. And so we do a lot of coloring. We do a lot of like, I'll draw it, she colors it. But one of my friends was actually, I was taking a big trip. I was on an airplane. I was kind of getting ready to go to Australia. I was going to do Australia for my cousin's wedding. And then I was like, well, if I'm going to cross the entire ocean, then let's go ahead and go to New Zealand, which is where I really wanted to go. Got to do the haka, phenomenal dance with the dudes, the haka dudes. Oh, yes, with their tongues and just like slapping and like, whoa, crazy face. Amazing dance. Not exactly the Texas Chew stuff, but there's some overlay. So I'm going to New Zealand. It's the longest flight I've ever been on. I want to say it's like 14 hours. It is truly like the longest flight that you can take. And I was asking a friend, I was like, oh man, that's a lot of time. She was like, hey, here you go. And she gave me a coloring book, like a really detailed, like amazing coloring book. And I was like, oh wow, thanks. Really? That's helpful. Like I was thinking about books anyway. So I colored. I had a great time. And I still have this coloring book. And I have allowed my daughter a little bit to color in it because it's actually a really cool coloring book. And I realized that whenever you're coloring, man, you are making art. Nobody is going to color it the way you're going to color it. It's just like dance. Nobody's doing it the way you're going to do it. They're going to do it. It's a little different. So yeah, that's my downtime. That's what I do. I drink coffee and tea and I color. I mean, it's great, but I'm not having to interact with anybody. So all of that like social juice, all of that like interaction stuff, I get to just be at peace. My brain's still kind of ticking, but my mouth, my breath calms down. I don't have to win. Again, there's no right or wrong. So that's my trick. There you go. So the Beth Coffey coloring book, that's on its way. It's on its way in stores. You'll find it soon. Before you color, after you color. So yeah.
I love that. I love that you and your 6-year-old have a shared hobby.
Of course.
And she sounds amazing. Like,
yeah.
What's something that she's into? That's such a beautiful age. What's something she's digging right now?
Well, step one, never ask her what she wants to do. Step one is tell her, here are your options. We can go outside and ride bikes, which she sucks at, or we can play the fiddle. She's great. Well, fiddle. The fiddle. Well, here you go. Here's your joke. What's the difference between the fiddle and the violin?
Oh, man, you got me.
Think about it. Think about your favorite fiddle player and think about your favorite violin player. Who are these people?
Fiddle players, they're moving around a lot. And violin are very serious and stoic.
Nice. I can't wait to all the violin players to just like blow you up. No, that's great though. And can you imagine when you imagine a fiddle player and a violin player, kind of the way the music goes?
Violin seems to be slower
Okay.
and fiddle kind of more staccato, faster pace.
Nice. No, these are great answers. The real answer is one word: strings. So, so the violin is played with strings and the fiddle is played with strings. They're the exact same. I hate to bust your bubble. They're the exact same. Same instruments, same everything. Same strings, same fiddle, same bow, all of it. It's exactly the same. It just has to do with the kind of music. So Bach, Chopin, Betsy's learning how to play a Suzuki method, which just means no paper, nothing like that. You just play. You just play. And then as she gets better and better and better, I will throw away all of the Bach and Chopin and only teach her like Doug Kershaw and like amazing hoedown fiddle stuff, because that's what I want to dance to. And I'm ready for her to like take the stage. So her dad plays the guitar in a band with Weldon Henson. I'm teaching dance lesson to Weldon Henson's music. Obviously, next step is for Betsy to like be on stage and play something.
Oh my God.
Faded Love, play something.
When the whole family's up there,
I
get
know.
me there in the audience. I will.
Selling tickets. No, I'm so
that's
excited.
true.
Yeah.
Okay, the stonemason sent a PDF. The plumber wants a check. Wait, who is Dave on Venmo? Is that the woodworker or the tool rental? Oh my gosh. Stop playing forensic accountant with your own renovation. With Loyal, you get one consolidated invoice. We manage the vendors and the paperwork. One bill, zero confusion. Loyal Home Concierge.
But she does. She actually is really excited about it. She's been playing since like 2. We start the project. It's called UT Strings. It's a 78-year-old thing that happens here in Austin, Texas. It's with the University of Texas. So they're amazing musicians, teach small kids easy rhythms and how to do it. So she's been doing that. So she's been playing, and she's good. She's really good because she doesn't know to be scared yet. She doesn't know to be scared. She doesn't. So she gets on stage at Bass Concert Hall as a 4-year-old and said, "My name is Betsy Jerkins," and looked over at the person playing the piano and gave the nod, and they played. Wow. It's enormous. Like, no problem. Walked up there, played her song, did her bow, and my heart just like explodes. And me and Dad are like clapping so hard.
Yes.
Yeah. You don't know to be scared, I guess. Or maybe that's just her. That she's just like, man, I'm not, this is fine. I know the song.
What an incredible young woman.
Yeah.
Beth, I want to dive into dance mechanics for a little bit here. So what would be your advice on being a good lead and being a good follow?
Great question. So, how long you got? No. No, key elements to dancing with any person. Be safe. Make it so that it's not so hard, or you're so complex, or you're leading so strongly, or that you're following so demurely. So just be safe. Realize that you're going to bring some energy to the table. They're going to bring some energy to the table. And now that you're both there, that's quite a bit of energy. I really like to teach everyone to lead. Enough with the sexism. Enough with the male is the leader, the female is the follow. It is 2025. Rip it up and throw it away. That is so not necessary. It's not necessary. It doesn't work. Traditionally, female people that have been in this world, especially in Texas, we've been dancing our whole lives. We are amazing leaders. We understand the concept. We probably understand the mechanics of our body in regards to being graceful, dancing with music. I do think that predominantly male dudes, they are fantastic at moving their body. Here we are in Texas. You've got a lot of movement. You play baseball, football, golf, tennis. Like, you guys are doing great things. Typically, and unfortunately, there's no music involved. The rhythm is there when you run. The rhythm is there when you hit a tennis ball racket or a whatever racket, ball, whatever. There's a rhythm to it. So I get exhausted by people that are like, no, I have no rhythm. I'm like, no, you do. So as a leader, as a follow, the mechanics, that's your question. The mechanics is leader, have an idea of where you're going to go, have an idea of keeping your person safe that's dancing with you. You're going to keep moving on the dance floor, eyes up. That's it. That's really all it is, being a leader. Being a follow, it's tricky. You literally are practicing patience. And I don't know if you've noticed, but nobody has that anymore. It's outdated. It's outdated. And so practicing patience is so hard to do. So what typically happens is two lovely people get together. They both want to lead. They both have their idea. They both know what they want to do. They both have ideas. So it is a treat to be the follow, to really practice the patience of, man, I am going to wait and see what this other person wants to do. And if I'm tuned up, I like to say your antennas are up. So you're paying attention to the hands, to hands on your shoulders, hands on your hands. You're paying attention to what that person's body is trying to make y'all, where y'all are trying to go. That's hard. That is so hard to do. Being a leader. Hi, I have no clue. Are you going to fight me on every move? Are you going to argue with me on every step? Are we going to sit here and talk the whole time? That's tricky. So, like I said, I could go on and on and on. But the key thing is, I would love it if people would just try dancing to the rhythm, to the song. And the hardest part of the dance is to actually continue to hear. Your mind is so busy thinking about your breath. Your mind is so busy thinking about your feet, thinking about your arms, thinking about how cute you are, thinking about how great you look, all of those things. Your mind is working. But you're supposed to be dancing to the song. And I will challenge you the next time you're on the dance floor to hear any of the lyrics, any of them. Or maybe even make a guess as to what this song was about. That right there, that little point, that piece, that's why science has come out to say dancing fights dementia. Dancing fights dementia. Your brain is on overload. It's 3 minutes of a brain workout. Your feet shuffle. Your breath, your heart rate may increase a little bit, sure. Hands are working, eyes are working, and your ears are working. Holy smokes. So not only are you trying to kind of understand what the song is about, but now you're dancing with a whole other person and trying to figure out their body and what they can do. And you're trying to figure out yourself, making sure you look good while you're doing it. That's a workout. That is a huge workout.
Oh, yeah.
And that's like 2.5 minutes. That's it. Done. Go dance with somebody else. Do it all over again. So is it hard to be a leader? It is. Is it hard to be a follow? It is. They're equally difficult. I love to teach people how to do both. If you've got the time, if you're interested in understanding what it's like to be a good dancer, if that's I have so many people, man, I want to get good fast. Okay, great. Go talk to Michael Johnson about like getting good fast. No, getting good does not equal fast. You can't get good fast. You can do well every day and make steps getting better. But learning both roles, that'll do it right there. And that's so hard. It's so hard. I've been doing it now for so long. It comes easy and natural, but switching gears, woo, it's tricky. It's fun. It's real fun. And I can't tell you how much I love dancing with big gentlemen who are, excited to be a follow, to challenge themselves. And I'm like, oh, absolutely. Oh, I'm ready. Let's do this. Oh, it's so much fun. And to then hear their feedback. Oh, man. I kind of like even got to close my eyes. Yeah, you did. Cool, isn't it? It's so cool. To trust. Going back to like what you were talking about with trust. going back that you trust me enough that I'm not going to run us into people. I'm not going to make you look silly. I'm not going to injure you. And that you can sit back, practice your patience, and trust me. Who doesn't want to try that? I mean, really, who doesn't want to have that experience? We're not bungee jumping. We didn't jump out of an airplane, but your body, the endorphins, same. They're fired up. I hope that answered.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
I love that. That was incredibly thoughtful, both practical as well as conceptual advice for folks. And, you know, again, what I'm hearing, instruction for dance of leading and following, that's applicable to relationships, to community building. It's so interesting, just kind of the example and the training ground that dance is for, you know, life.
Yeah.
I love all the, you know, transferable principles there.
Sure.
Well, as we start to wind our conversation down, Beth, how can people find you and how can they come join some of these?
Well, of course.
Two-step.
Oh my God. Quickly. We must jump. The commercial is, it's Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. I'll do it right here. Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday at the White Horse. I like to call it now the world famous White Horse, or using that play on words about the Armadillo World Headquarters, the White Horse World Headquarters. That's right. Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, 7:00. It's free, 21 and up. Just walk in. Don't need a partner. Don't need boots. Don't need a hat. Just bring a good attitude, maybe a smile. Tip your instructor. But that's super fun, and that's available. If you know that this is something that's like applicable to your business, this is something that your leadership team needs, this is something your friend group needs, this is your bachelorette party, absolutely hit me up on Instagram. It's just an email. I'll email you back. We'll figure out the logistics.
Right.
And
What's your Instagram handle?
Oh, my Instagram handle is at Dancing Austin, and that's DANCIN Austin. That's right. No G, too cool for a G. No G, no underscore, no nothing like that. So just Dancing Austin. Yeah.
Incredible. Well, highly recommend. Check out the White Horse, y'all. Beth, this has been so much fun. Yeah. You were a way stronger cup of coffee than my normal cup of coffee. I'm going to be fueled up for the next week. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you. It's a pleasure.
Thank you for joining us for this episode of Austin Community Capital. This show is a celebration of the spirit of Austin, Texas, honoring our past, engaging our present, and building our future together. If this conversation sparked something in you, a new idea, a feeling of connection, or just a good laugh, pass it on. Share this episode with a fellow Austinite or a loved one who needs to hear it. Let's keep weaving this fabric of community together. This show is proudly presented by Loyal Home Concierge. At Loyal, we believe that a healthy, thriving city starts within the four walls of your home. We are passionate about supporting overextended executives, the moms and dads who do it all, and the couples who take life by storm. Because we know that when your home life is supported, you are free to support the ones who matter most.
Your kids, your wife.
Whether you need a proactive manager for your home or a creative problem solver for your next big adventure, we are here to help you design a life of intention. LoyalHomeConcierge.com. Let's make life a little more beautiful together. Stay loyal to your community, and we'll see you next time.